All right, guys, so today is a little bit of a weird day, little crazy, little scary day. I decided to go on some pawn shop routes. You guys know I used to go to like 10 pawn shops a day, literally every day around the clock. And I decided to come to a route that is pretty well known to me. It's not in a good part of town. Most of them aren't. But I went to a lot of the corporate stores today, and I went into one store, and I'm gonna show you guys the clip and the film. I'm gonna go back in just a few minutes and show you guys. But I found a MacBook, an Apple Macbook, a laptop that I was gonna buy. It was at a good price. Sometimes you can find them. I bought and sold quite a few of them out of pawn shops where, you know, you can buy them for like, say, 250, 300 bucks and put them on eBay for like 400, 500. It's a $200, $250 flip, and then after fees and shipping, you get to make $100. So I found one of those today. It was a good one. The specs, all that stuff made sense. The price made sense. So I was gonna go ahead and swing it. And as I do at every pawn shop, like you should do, I went in and asked them to plug the MacBook in, to test it out, to charge it, to turn it on, to connect it to the internet, all the things that you should do to check out a laptop. And so we did that. And those of you that have Apple MacBooks or are familiar with, you know, any Apple product, they can be tracked via Find My Mac or Find My iPhone or whatever the case might be. And so this one had Find My Mac on it, and whoever took it in at the pawn shop, which this isn't rare, it happens all the time, didn't check to clear it. And so when we powered it on, you know, we charged it up, powered it on, the Find My Mac popped right up and it was pinging. Somebody was trying to locate it. The Mac, turns out, had been stolen and sold to the pawn shop, which is a huge problem because a lot of times what happens is somebody steals something, and like, let's say somebody stole it out of my car right now and brought it right to the pawn shop. The pawn shop calls and checks serial numbers with the police to see if it's stolen. Sometimes people don't notice that their stuff is stolen right away, or they don't call right away, or it just, you know, they never call for whatever reason. So the pawn shop called the police department and it wasn't stolen, so they bought it. And then now it's on their store shelf. Here in Florida, you have to hold things for 30 days, and the pawn shops do that. But that computer was powered off. It was dead, or it was powered off after that day. So it was never turned back on. And today was the first day. It had been 30 days, so they put it out for sale today. And so as soon as we powered it up, it started pinging, and it was, you know, locating it to the owner who had had it stolen. The owner was basically just, you know, checking every day, pinging, pinging, pinging. They had turned on the lost MacBook thing, so as soon as they got power, it just went ping, 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 lost, lost, lost. And it gave them the GPS location of the pawn shop, which I'm still at right now. I'm still at the pawn shop right now. And turns out the person that had stole it from them, or whatever, or the person that had it stolen, I'm sorry, lives like 2 minutes down the road. So they were here quick. As soon as I saw that it was pinging, I looked at the employee and then the manager eventually, and I was like, hey guys, you know, like, I can't buy this, like, not interested. You guys have a problem. This computer is obviously lost or stolen or something. And right as we're sitting there talking, the owner comes strolling in, and he had called the police as well, which is typical. That's what happens at pawn shops. Owners find their stolen merchandise, they call the police immediately. So that's what happened. Let me show you the inside of the pawn shop and the MacBook and all that stuff, and then I'll take you to the end result of the story. Now, I didn't buy the MacBook because I was still in the store, so it had no issue with me, but I'll tell you the wrap up of what happens at pawn shops and the whole story at the end. Let's go ahead and go inside the pawn shop, back to my other footage, and then we'll talk again in a minute. All right, inside the pawn shop, looking for some good deals. Just trying to see, we got some iPods up here. Looks like they've got a bunch of iPod Touch 5th-gens, a shuffle. We'll have to ask what kind of prices on these and gigabytes and all that stuff. Always worth checking out. And then over here, these are like the Fluke electric meters, testers, stuff like that. One of my old favorite sections, the video game section. They're definitely overpriced still. Look, Super Mario Brothers 3 for NES is $20. So they have this cool MacBook Pro here. It's at a good price, so I'm gonna go ahead and have them check this Mac out. Always test stuff, power it on, charge it, all that good stuff, but maybe we can flip this and make a little bit of money on this this MacBook here. They have quite a few, but this one looks like it's the best deal, so let's see what they can do for us. So apparently this MacBook is stolen, and the guy tracked it to the value pawn, so he's talking outside with the police right now.
and I'm not going to be able to buy this MacBook. This is not good, and I'm glad it happened now and not when I get it home, and this is why you power stuff on and test it 100%. I don't want to show you guys exactly the information because let's just say that he's got the password. He knew everything for this computer, so it's probably his. I didn't buy it, I have nothing to do with it, but the value pawn is in big trouble. I'm gonna probably have to just roll out. I'm not gonna have to speak to the police because I didn't purchase it yet, thank God. But the pawn shop's in big trouble with them. So I'm back at home right now. Today was crazy. The whole pawn shop thing was nuts. And afterwards I went to Salvation Army and I bought some very cool stuff. I'll do a haul for you guys. I'm gonna stick with what I know and what's best. This is kind of the reason that I got out of the whole pawn shop, electronics, cell phone world, because man, there's so much shady stuff. So long story short, like I said before, pawn shops buy things and have to hold it for 30 days before they sell it. But things like that aren't powered on, you know, like it was powered on when they bought it. So whoever stole the computer originally probably brought it to the pawn shop like right away. They steal it out of a gym bag or out of a car in the middle of the day in a parking lot or a garage. They take it right to the pawn shop. So somebody might be in at the gym working out, or they might be at their job and they don't notice that the laptop's missing for 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes, you know, several hours till they get back and realize that maybe they drove home, maybe they drove to dinner, maybe they, you know, didn't get home to use their computer for many hours, and then they realize it's gone, and by then the pawn shop's already bought it, tested it, stuck it in the back on the shelf, powered it off, and it's sitting in the back of a pawn shop for 30 days. The person doesn't know where their laptop is, and then all of a sudden somebody like me comes in to buy it. The item gets powered on, and then all of a sudden, you know, the person that's missing it has been trying to ping it, and so that ping just kind of sets in limbo. And then when we power it on and it gets power and we connect it to the internet, ping, ping, ping. And my guess is the person, which I didn't talk to him because the police were talking to him, but my guess is that he had the notification sent to like an iPhone or an iPad, or maybe he got a new Mac in the last 30 days. And so as soon as that ping got power and went through, it notified him, ping, your MacBook's been located. He pulled it up. Bam, he saw where it was. He shot on over to the value pawn, which must have been closed, because I kid you not, from the time I powered it on, charged it, tested it, went through it, connected to the internet, was rolling through, making sure the whole thing worked and everything was good, probably 6-8 minutes he was there. So he must have lived close, which is typical because when people steal stuff, they go to the closest pawn shop to get rid of it. And so wherever it was stolen from, most likely this gentleman's house, was not far from the pawn shop. So they shot over there and got it taken care of, got it sold, and got their money. And so now the pawn shop will relinquish the item to the guy that got it stolen. But here in Florida, you have to pay what the pawn shop paid, and basically it becomes a lawsuit. They got to track down the dude, they got to arrest him, they got to try to get restitution. So it's very difficult in these situations. But thank God I didn't just buy it and take it home and do it, because then the dude would have been like driving to my house. So one thing to be very careful about when you're buying pawn shop merchandise. It's very rare. I buy tons of stuff from pawn shops. Very rare that this sort of thing happens. If you're buying video games, it's impossible, really. There's no way to track those. But things like this, like MacBooks and Apples and you know, that sort of thing can be tracked. So just be careful. Just a warning to everyone. Make sure that you know, get the records, get a receipt, use your credit card, and have all your ducks in a row before you walk out the door of a pawn shop with something that you've purchased. But overall, you can do very well at pawn shops, and I do very well at pawn shops. So thank you guys for watching. Don't want to scare anyone into not shopping at pawn shops. Just be careful. That's the lesson from today, and I am glad that I was very careful. Not exactly for the reason that I should have been, because I trust that the pawn shop did their due diligence, but for the fact that I was testing the laptop to make sure it's fully working, which set off the alarm bells for the owner. So glad that he's getting his MacBook back. Sucks I couldn't make a deal and make money on it, but I don't want to make money on items that are stolen anyway. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're not already, for more great videos coming soon. And down in the description box, as always, if you link to my eBay store, whether you buy from me or you buy from somebody else, it helps me out, it supports me, and I appreciate it. Same with the Amazon links. If you need anything like light kits or scales or anything for your Amazon eBay business, it's all down there, and anything you purchase helps me out, whether you buy it from me or whether you buy it from somewhere else. Just use my links to get to those websites. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.